A very warm welcome to She. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. My name is Lillian and I am taking us through tonight's show. We are talking about a woman's financial journey. Remember, you can catch this and other past episodes of She on our Family Media YouTube channel. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts on 20316, or you can leave a comment on our YouTube comments down below if you're watching on YouTube. And also, you can watch us live from anywhere in the world on our Family Media app. You just download the app and there we are. All right, tonight we are talking about a woman's financial journey. I can't wait to start. To my immediate left, I have an issue with left and right. Do you guys have the same thing? Somebody tells you, turn left. Yeah, you're like, which left?
left.
Okay, so on my immediate left, I've got Catherine Kithaka. You have a background in business administration. You run a business together with your husband of 21 years. Is that right?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that really excites me. Yeah, that really excites me. So you run a business together with him, and you have a practice. You practice psychology. You're a counselor. Sure. Karibu sana. I can't wait to begin, and I'll definitely start with you. But let's go to my immediate right. It's Jenny Nyanjui. You are a women empowerment leader, founder of Women for Women in Kenya, among so many other things that you're doing for women. And I also can't wait to start to share this conversation with you. To my distant right, it's Margaret Wanyoro, co-founder of Peak Action Network and also Yach, Kiambu County. You are an entrepreneur in the lines of health and wealth. Is that in health and wealth line? Yes. Right. Yes. And I see that you deal a lot with reproductive health and things like that for women. Yes. And I know that reproductive health and a woman's finances are very, very much they really affect each other. Yes. Right. And today when I think about my own savings, I find that maybe I've been able to save a certain figure over a period of time. Yeah. And then I have to be so careful because it's so easy for me to just spend it on transport. You know, something that is just like it just evaporates.
Can't take it.
Yeah. So that has really impacted me. Maybe I can start with you, Catherine. What is one of your most vivid childhood memories as far as finances is concerned?
Wow. Thank you, Lillian. As you speak, I remember when I was young. Yeah. I'm not very young. 10 shillings notes could buy a lot. Yes. Sugar, bread, and there was change.
Wow.
And for us, you need to account for everything. So I would say that experience, that is 10 shillings, but you need to account for it. Yeah. So budgeting. I love to budget because from then, those days, you need to account what happened to the 250 cents.
Yes.
Budgeting.
No wonder you went into business administration.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, all right. And let me go to Jenny. The teenage experience, in my own experience, when I was in my teen years is when my mom started sending me to pay electricity and things like that. So when I finally was at the age of, in my early 20s and mid-20s, it was not such a culture shock for me. What was your teenage exposure like?
Well, my dad had started a business that was about to travel, and these are construction, something to do with that. So he one day told me about like the charcoal. It's not very expensive to some places he was going. So I told him, you know what, just bring me some few sacks of charcoal and I'm going to sell them. And I really did.
Wow.
Yeah, after Form 4, I just did. I hustled some money to go to campus, and that's how I managed to buy some of my household stuffs when I was going to my first year.
Wow.
Yeah, I sold charcoal.
That is independent.
I did, yeah.
Wow, wow. What was the experience of selling charcoal like? Were you embarrassed that your friends would catch you, you know, selling something that is not so glamorous?
At first I was, and then I thought about it. If I'm embarrassed, I won't have this money. I'll just stay at the house. Yeah. I didn't have a lot of things to do. I was just staying in the house. But now I just told myself I need to get out of my comfort zone since we had a plot around our home, so I wasn't paying rent. I'm just going to hustle for something I can have.
Oh, that's nice. That's a very nice experience. Okay, let's go to Margaret. What was your first earning like? The first money that you ever made, what was it like?
interestingly, just like your savings, I can't tell what I did with my money. All I know is that I left high school and I knew that I'll be joining campus and I needed some savings. So I needed to find something to do. And so I got myself a job. So it was a very small hustle. So I was getting 7,000 per month. And interestingly, so I was calculating, I knew that from January to July, at least I'll have some money that will at least give me something by the time I'm getting to campus. But interestingly, by the time we were getting to September, I only had 3,000. I had no idea what happened.
Where has it gone?
I had no idea. So, but I think I was so much into buying stuff, buying good clothes, buying good shoes, ensuring that I'm looking good.
Yes.
That's how I spent my money.
Let me go to Catherine. Have you ever been conned?
Oh, yes.
How did that go?
It's a big yes. Of course, many times, but I think there is one not a long time ago when, cryptocurrencies came and trading and all that. Maybe I didn't mention that I also have done a postgraduate diploma in IT.
Okay.
So the name of our company actually is Computer Business. So that's what we have always wanted to do. So long story short, this person comes to me and they introduce to me that they are into trading, forex trading.
Yes.
And just like you, we started small.
Yeah.
We were building the business, but somewhere along the line, the big monies just became that. So
do you have the courage to tell us how much you put in?
The big monies.
Oh no.
But anyway, so it looked like it was okay. You have a contract, you have signed, and then you're thinking you've done all the due diligence, but somewhere along the line, it didn't work. Yeah.
In hindsight, what would you do differently if the same situation occurred in different, maybe it's from a different company or different person? What due diligence would you add to what you had done?
What I had done? For sure, God does, blessings and open doors for us.
Yes.
But they say when the deal is too good,
think twice.
Think twice. Who is this person? They don't know you, they are not your relatives, but they are ready to walk you through your business. So just that element of knowing it may not necessarily be true. That somebody is just out there all set to help me, to help you. So I think even God says, if you don't work, you don't eat. So issues of I'll work for you, I'll trade for you, I'll multiply your money, think twice.
And also what I've heard from, because recently we hosted someone, you can catch that episode also on our YouTube channel. We talked, the show was about women in male-dominated fields. There was a lady who is an expert in fintech, and she was saying, fintech works, but you have to take classes. You have to, it is better if you are, but you've already taken classes, isn't it?
Yes.
But it's someone who wanted to do it for you.
Yes.
I think then that is where the loophole might have been.
You need to work. I don't think, there could be a few, but you need to work.
Okay, so let's come out of the first earning. That money is sweet because you don't have a lot of responsibilities. You're young. I mean, if you're lucky, there are people who have a lot of responsibilities at an early age. Then you go to mid-level, where you're making a reasonable amount. You can now pay your rent. You can now buy, a suit that is more than 200. There's an age where you tend to buy very cheap things, and then there's another age where now you can start buying from the shop. Come out of the street.
You graduate.
Yes.
You graduate.
Yeah.
Progress.
Yeah,
Levels.
you make
Levels.
progress. And then now people start calling you, they're inviting you for harambes. And then this thing called black tax. I don't know if you guys have experienced it. Black tax is your parents now want a return on investment. Not all, but
Some assistance
some
financially.
assistance, some financial assistance. Have you experienced that?
Not really. Not, okay. I willingly would assist my mom or my parents, but not that they ask me to come through so many times, because I'm still building myself.
Yeah. But you also paid did you pay your way through school or you chipped in?
Okay, they paid for school, yeah.
Mid-level, would you say you're at mid-level or at starter level? Is it called startup? Starter?
I will say in between starting and getting to, I'm not
in between.
Let me say that I'm in between.
Yeah. What do you think would help you to transition faster?
Okay, maybe I will first talk of how the transitioning actually is. But I think that for me, it's not so hard because I really had to learn the hard way because I had to start relying on myself from my first year of campus. So I really had to know how to pay my bills, know where I live and such. And so by the time I was leaving campus, now my parents back home, now I have to start looking after my siblings and all that. So what I will say is that transitioning for me is not really tough. It's not so tough because it's not new. I feel like I transitioned some time back.
Okay.
So, but at the same time, maybe what I will say is that now what I'm looking for is maybe something better. And there's also so much confusion because at the same time I'm looking at it that, I'm not a teenager anymore, but at the same time looking at it and looking at what I'm doing and thinking of what I should be doing right now, it's not easy as well. It's not an easy one, but at the same time I'm like, well, someone helped me get to the point I am right now, so I wouldn't mind giving a hand to my siblings to ensure that at least they get to where I am right now.
That is true.
Yeah.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk more about a woman's financial journey. Don't go away.
Tomorrow on This Is My Story. It is the first institution ordained by God, and it is every couple's desire to have a happily ever after.
Within the 3 months, we started having misunderstandings. And I remember there is a day he took scissors, and then he wanted to stab me with it.
But when do you realize it is toxic? Find out on This Is My Story, tomorrow at 8:30 p.m.
Welcome back to She. We are having a very important conversation about a woman's financial journey. And all of us here at the table, we have got, our paths have been different, but somehow they're meshing in some areas. And I would want to know how you feel about it. Are we relating to you as well? Is your situation similar to ours? Let me know on my SMS line 20316. And in case you're watching us on YouTube, make sure that you leave a comment down below and make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. So we just came from Margaret, who was telling us that that one of the things that you have to deal with as you transition from the starter level to the mid-level is caring for your siblings and caring for your parents as well by extension. And I wanted to ask you, Catherine, did you have that experience of caring for your siblings?
Thank you, Lillian. On the contrary. I'm on the other side, the receiving end. Okay. Because I am second from last. And I found myself and my younger sister being supported. Our late dad, retired when I was in class 8. So it meant that my elder siblings somehow had to chip in. I thank God for them.
Yes.
Yeah, so really not siblings, but I found... now again, I think life is a cycle because not siblings, but I found myself chipping in with some nephews and nieces here and there. Yes, but for siblings, I was a beneficiary. Okay. Yeah.
But right now, I want to know about marriage. And on this table, I have had an experience of marriage, though it didn't work out. But you have been married for a long time. Yeah. So I think both of us are able. One of the things that I know about marriage is that as a woman, sometimes you slow down when you get married because you want to nurture your husband, nurture your children, And that sort of affects your finances.
Oh, yes.
Somehow. Something recurring I had, and we've seen it, even when those big people are splitting with their wives. They had businesses they were managing together, but when they're splitting, it's not very clear whose car was this, whose house was this, and it always looks like it belonged to the man.
To the man.
Yeah. Can you help us unpack that? How do women find themselves entangled in that? You've given your work, you've worked, but a lot of the things that you use, you don't actually own.
I think how we are cultured. When a lady is getting married, that vibe that goes on, it's true, it's biblical. You go to support the husband. And I think we go into marriage and unfortunately, some of us lose our identity. We lose our identity in who we are, in our careers, in our goals. Because when we are young, we all have goals. I mean, those goals, 5 years, 3 years, 10 years, whatever. But somehow we lose, or people tend to lose their identity. And finances are not spared. Because, again, you go in there and you want to work out your marriage, you want it to work, transparency. So in that particular scenario, you find, I mean, the trust, you know, when people are dating, I mean, you trust this guy, you are okay, you can give everything you have given even yourself. So just that, like we are enmeshed, that's how we call it.
Enmeshed.
You are enmeshed, you have no boundaries. You lose your identity, but you find when things don't work out, women sometimes find themselves in a real big mess. So I think it's just that lack of identity, or losing our identity, and really losing out on our goals. When I was 24, 23, I had these goals. So somehow, like you said, I'll put them aside and I take up the goals for the family. So if the goals of the family do not take care of me as Catherine, as a lady, what happens? It means you're lost.
So as Catherine, how would you say you've been able to retain your identity over the years, especially considering that you're running a business, a family business? How are you able to retain your identity?
At the registration, we are partners.
Okay.
So
it's official.
It's official on paper.
Okay.
Sharia house.
Okay.
We are partners. So anything that goes in there, part of it. Okay, the intention wasn't so that I don't lose, but I think those are measures that one can take. There's nothing wrong in as a woman owning a business or being a partner in the business. So that was and has been what has helped us so far. So from the word go, be a participant. Do not be a spectator. The problem is that tunafikanga, yani you arrive. Be a participant.
Be a participant.
Get to know what is going on. Even if you bring up the children, because I also did slow down. I actually, even some of my schooling I did when the children, so you're all sitting on the table because you slowed down. That is okay to nurture the family. But get to know what's going on. Don't be ignorant. Even God doesn't approve of that. So be a participant.
Okay.
Where money is coming from, how business is doing, how business is coming in, be a participant.
All right. Let me go to Jenny. One of the greatest impact of a 25-year-old mind is how you see your parents relating to each other financially. What are some of the things that you can pick from how you've seen your parents relate to each other?
Wow. I think I would look for a man who is like my dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
How so? That's good.
Honestly speaking, when I'm looking for a man, I just love how my dad has brought me up. From the beginning, like I'm just like her. I'm the second last one, but I'm taught to never depend on anybody. I have siblings, I have my dad, I have my mom, But even before he assists me financially, he first let me suffer and ask me, don't you have something else you can manage by yourself? Yeah. Then later I'll just, then he used to tell me, I have to give you education. Education is the only thing I can offer you, and it's going to help you in the future. Then again, I've grown up seeing my dad support my mom in all aspects. And they came from a humble background. They didn't have anything from the beginning. Everything they've gotten it with my mom. So I would also offer a hand to the person I'm going to get. But in this generation, I don't know how that is working.
It's working.
Let's hope so, but yeah.
Yeah. Don't take my example, take hers.
Exactly, it's working.
It's working.
Okay, I'm just hoping it's gonna work, but I'm not in a rush to do that. I think I'm in the point of building myself.
Okay, Margaret, over to you. The firstborn. Actually, you're the only firstborn on this table. So in that regard, you are our teacher, because I'm also a lastborn. Yeah. Let me take the liberty to ask, what would you do differently from what you've seen your parents doing so that your firstborn, God, believing that you will have children in future, will not have to juggle the things you're juggling?
I wouldn't get a child I've not planned for.
Okay.
And I think it's because being a firstborn, and the fact that, a firstborn daughter, because I have a big bro, at times I realized that the life that I was given by my parents, and I understand that they really did their best, it's not really the same life I would really want to give my children. Because for me, I was brought up from a point of suffering, like where you're taught to appreciate life from a point of lack. I wouldn't really want my children to experience that. For me, I would say there's nothing wrong to appreciate life from a point of abundance. So why not get children when I know that I can take care of the children? And when I talk of taking care of the children, I'm not talking of extravagance. I'm talking of the very basics. Can they get decent meals, a decent house? Can they get a good education?
Yeah.
I think that is the very first thing I'll do differently. And it's something that I'm really working hard to do differently. And something that I will do that my parents really did is working hard. My mom especially. My mom taught us the art of hard work.
Okay.
So she taught us, for you to get whatever you want, you really have to work for it. And I think I never really forgot that. Yeah, so basically that's what I'll do and what I wouldn't do.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay. Catherine, now I would say that you are at the place where we dream of getting, the senior level. You're in a managerial capacity, your children are grown, you've been able to hold your things together. And it looks very easy from where we are looking in, but I'm sure there's some challenges that you face. Is it easy?
Yes and no.
Okay.
If there's ever such an
Thank you for
answer.
being honest. Some people are like so modest. No, it's very difficult. Okay, thank you for being honest.
Yes and no, and I want to start with the positive. Or do I start with the negative? Yes, the negative is that we never have it all put together. As I look back to the 15 years, to the 10 years, there are things I think I would have done differently. So there are those pockets here and there. I'm thinking, if I took this particular route, things would have been better. So it's of course, some things didn't work. Some time that would have been spent better. Some investment opportunities that I missed.
What comes to the top of your mind? One thing you'd have done differently?
I would have done differently as far as the business is concerned.
Whichever. Finances.
Finances.
Yeah.
To diversify.
Okay.
Diversification would have done us better. Diversify in, like I mentioned, the company deals with the IT and all that, IT related. But I look at 10 years back, some property, for instance, that was available that we thought can't go there.
Okay.
It's now appreciated. Just giving an example.
Yeah.
So that would be one of those that I can give.
Okay.
And the other one would be the systems. You know, a business need to have systems that will go beyond myself and yourself. So in some of those, I would have put better systems to make sure I do not have to be there, that the business can still run. So better systems, opportunities that have been missed. Yes, but the beauty of it is that I have clarity, very clear where I'm going. As far as business is concerned, family is concerned, my work with God is concerned.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I am clear of my purpose. I am not struggling.
Oh,
I have a focus.
That is beautiful. That is so inspiring.
Yeah.
All right, Margaret, there's something you were saying about a woman's financial autonomy.
Yeah, let me start it from this point. I think by now, for me, I've been brought up in a place where there's really not much to learn about finances and money and investments generally. So I've really had to take lessons from people, from books on money and finances. And taking them from people to start with, I've sat on tables with both men and women, and I want to bring in something different in it. Catherine will tell me whether this is correct or maybe I sat on a wrong table.
Okay, let's hear it.
Here we are.
So most of the times when you sit with women, and especially most of the times, what you'll hear most women talking about is savings, like savings. Like, instead of buying this, why don't I save? But the conversation is different when you sit with men. For men, they are thinking of investments. Big investments.
That's what she's just,
So you realize that, and now I'm trying to look at it from how we've grown up and in an African setup. You realize that as young women, as young girls especially, we are taught not to love money. When you find a good-looking woman, and most probably she's taking care of herself, the first thing that comes to a person's mind is, this woman, someone has kept her. So again, we've lost the point on that women can actually work so hard and make it by themselves. So I think that we really need to change the narrative and start uprooting all these bias around women and money and getting things and focus on the fact that girls and women can actually go out there, make great investments and make big things out of their lives. I think that women like Catherine we should tell us that more. Exactly. You should be more vocal and remind us that it's possible to go out there and make it. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you for that. All right, Catherine, just as I wind up, I had seen on your notes, guys, I wish you saw the notes she prepared. She prepared, oh my goodness. You have to do a full YouTube video just with that. But I saw somewhere you had talked about Erik Erikson theory. And I'm curious, what does that have to do with finances?
When you're a preteen or in your 20s, the financial need there is different from someone who is in their 50s and their 60s or somebody who is already in their 70s. Yet, the decisions you make in your 20s will affect you in your 60s, in your 70s.
Where?
Yes.
Okay.
So we need to identify, of course we know, where we are at and the needs where we are at in life. But all is not lost. By the way, you can begin anywhere. You know, this guy of, is it KFC, who began at 65?
65, all is not lost.
So all is not lost.
That is hopeful,
But wherever you are, it is so important that you identify the needs there. If you're just in your 20s, start saving, start small, start investing. If you're in your 50s, your insurance need to be intact so that you are not the project of your children in your 70s. So it does really matter.
It matters.
And we need to be conscious about it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, ladies, for being so inspiring to all of us. I hope you've been inspired. I trust you've been encouraged. And in case you're watching on YouTube, remember to leave your comments down below. Click, share, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And also, if you're watching from Family TV, send me your thoughts on 20316. Thank you so much for your company. See you next time.